Yeah,
She hasn't
she
even
cut us
said
off
any bad
already.
words
I
yet.
know. Perfect. All right.
Let's go.
Let's go. We're gonna get this meeting started. All right. Let's get this party started. Sorry, no streamers, no pinatas. Well, we still got
some leftovers.
Some leftovers. If you missed last week, you missed a good time. It was sorry, Carrie, but I bet you had a better time. You were swimming with the sharks, swimming with the fishes. All right. Well, glad to have you back. Let's go ahead. And as we always do, I'm excited. I know there's some, this isn't working. Yay. Well, is any of it working? Okay. No. No, I got this. All right. Tell me, did he come? He's got one ear. I know. Oh, it's not working. You want to come fix it while we're talking about something good? Oh, just kidding. See?
It's going.
This is the story of my life. I'll do something 18 times and he'll come just into the room and all of a sudden it works. I don't know what that is, but all right, tell me something good. Todd, you got something.
Last Tuesday, I missed your Cinco de Mayo party.
Yes.
And I traveled to St. Louis. My daughter, who's 29, she graduated with her master's degree from a university. It's at St. Louis. And, she didn't really want to walk. And I just yelled at her. I'm like, no, you'll walk. That's a big deal. And she's able to advance her career, got a new contract signed, teaching career at Ray-Pec. So she's back at Ray-Pec.
Nice.
Anyway, I missed your deal Tuesday, and we did it down and back. We're back Wednesday morning, but it was exciting to see her get to graduate.
Oh, that is great. That is
master's degree. That's cool.
Yeah, and she's back here. Well, that is good. And you missed a good party for a good reason. That's all right. It's part of being an adult. What I'm finding out, I've known for a while, right? Sometimes you miss the fun stuff because you got to do the responsible stuff, and you can't do everything. But tell me, who's else got something good? We had Mother's Day. We've got graduations. Christian's got good news. What is it, Christian? I saw it on Facebook. I was hoping you would share, but Shelby helped you. That's exciting. That's exciting. Congratulations. Congratulations. What else? What else we got? Yes, Lisa.
Fantastic. So, but our trip to Italy was
A dream. I love that.
Yay.
I enjoyed seeing your pictures. I found a few things I want to put on my bucket list. Great.
Yep.
I'm glad you got to do that. What else? What else?
be a grandma.
Who said that? I was like, who? Oh, Trisha. Every week.
The day after their second daughter. We're in 19th, 20th, and 21st.
19, 20, and 21st.
Here, a little bit, and I will, yeah. Please don't be busy.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's exciting. Lots of new babies. Love that. So, what else we got? Yes, Steve.
So I 38 11 offers. My lady got.
Is it the multiple offer one that you were trying to get?
We got it at 340.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so they didn't go the highest. They chose y'all over somebody else or many others.
Big down.
Good. Okay.
Good
Good.
job, Steve.
Congratulations.
Well done.
What's that?
Want us to keep the inspection, even though the highest was a box 3.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
That's great.
That's almost unheard of.
That's great. That is almost unheard of, but good for you. I know
Yeah.
you worked really hard for her. All right. Anybody else? Yes.
I had the pleasure of Trisha, your golf tournament. What was the name of it again? Casey Mo Angels, one of the best run tournaments I've been in. Had the pleasure of playing golf with Anthony. It's one of those perfect days last Monday. I mean, it couldn't have been any nicer. We didn't play that great as a team, but they raised $55,000 or something crazy.
Very
that day.
good.
So thank you. I appreciate it.
Exciting. I've got some good news. Our oldest is back home. He graduated from college with a finance degree. He came back home and got his dream, well, not his dream job, but he's in his dream company. He has a job at creative planning in Overland Park. And so he's got a salary and benefits.
Uh-huh.
I'm cracking up. I'm like, my son has benefits. This is,
That's Brandy's Escalade out there.
yeah, right. So we're excited for that. And that, yeah, it was only company he applied to. So I was a little nervous, but he got it. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to celebrate Josh's fiance this weekend. We hosted a bridal shower for her. In case you were curious, her favorite feature of him is not his mustache.
Oh.
Did you just learn that? Did she just kind of?
No, she tells me.
Oh,
Every single.
But you stay strong. You stay strong and keep the mustache.
Married in like 50 days. So
Okay.
It's like that.
Still time.
That's my concern. Very
Great to celebrate her.
nice. 50 days. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know whether to congratulate her or just give her a hug, man. Mary and Josh.
that's awesome. Hi.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
All right. Anybody else? I don't want to miss anybody. Anybody else? Carrie went on a cool vacation. Okay. All right. Well, post on Facebook. Tell me about it if you got something good between now and next Tuesday. Our preferred vendors. So Lisa, welcome back and come on up.
Lisa.
Oh, this is doing its thing, huh? We'll just go with that. Let's do it.
Vincent, that right now the government has filed for an appeal with the Fifth Circuit Courts. Because it kind of was leaning towards the fact that that was going to be go away, but they don't want it to go away. In fact, they've also asked for a reinstatement of FinCEN as it's going through the approval or appeal process. So they'll have a ruling on that probably within the next couple weeks. So we'll see something in regards to that one way or the other. So I just wanted to point that out. So if you continue to see stuff in the news that's kind of on a hold situation, it is, but they're looking for a reinstatement until the ruling is made. Also, for those of you that use Palm Agent, they are switching that, Colorado switching that over to title capture. Works very similar, kind of, but the reason why they've been looking at this for several months, there's a little bit more that's offered. The people that have done the test run on it said that it is easier to use. They like the benefits to it, all that good stuff. So you may be seeing via email or text message an invite for that. So if you see that, know that that is a real thing. It's called title capture. So you might see that this week. I'm going to have a training session because I missed the training session when I was on vacay, but I'll have that probably the first part of next week is what we're trying to get that in. And then I'll pass that information on to you guys. I've asked Rachel if she might be able to come out and give us a presentation on it just so that we all get it at once. So we'll work that out. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Great. Thanks, Lisa.
All right, Todd Branson with Fairway Mortgage. Come on up, Todd.
So, big win.
Yeah, you got to.
Oh, what happened?
I know.
That's-
It's
Sorry, bud. All right, so huge win yesterday. We closed a loan that a couple months ago, guy doesn't qualify to buy. Scott Swaggart siding. Holy crap. How you doing, buddy? There's a, sorry, got me off track. We closed a $500,000 loan closed yesterday morning in Cofalt. That the buyer had no opportunity to buy a home without our guaranteed buy program from Fairway. Do you remember us talking about it? I use the term home light. It's a fantastic option for your client. He knew going into Lee Summit Market where he was going to purchase that he had a lot of competition, multiple offer scenario, has a house in Lee Summit to sell, just wasn't quite ready. So anyway, he got on board with a guaranteed sale day one, and we got him approved. I sent everything into HomeLight. They got him pre-approved, had him ready to go with a bridge loan and everything. He had good equity in his home. Tony, after probably 25 houses, got him under contract, and he closed yesterday. So again, no business buying, no ability to buy without that product. The guaranteed sale program, if you remember from I did a little training on it, it removes the obligation of the current house out of his debt to income ratio. So when somebody is purchasing your home and HomeLight agrees to buy it, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac on a conventional loan remove the debt. So if it's a $2,000 house payment, guess what? He doesn't have to qualify with the $2,000 house payment. Normally, when you buy a home, if you're trying to buy without selling, you got your house over here, your departing residence is just going to kick your butt on your debt to income ratio, right? The guaranteed sale program removes that from his ratios. Make sense? Closed yesterday, $500,000. On the mastermind Thursday, I got an opportunity to talk to you guys. If you're on that mastermind, we talked about two quick little investment type loan programs. The DSCR, which is they use the house income, like if it's for rental property, they use the income generated by the home as in the ratios. That's how they qualify the buyer to buy that house, not their tax returns. Super cool options. Come see me if you want to talk about that one. The last one though is Nanette. She was not here. We had a huge win for her, a $600 and some thousand purchase using the bank statement program. The bank statement program is, we have a program that'll do 12 months as little as 10% down. Somebody who's self-employed, they have a gross income of this. They have a net income of what? This, right? Who wants to pay Uncle Sam? Well, the bank statement program legitimately takes their business bank statements, adds up all the deposits, creates a formula and says, okay, this guy went from making $38,000 a year on his net tax return to using $600,000 a year annual income. Big difference, right? So he was able to close. We closed on his Lee Summit house, competitive market and all that using that product. So if you have questions, and we were talking, Rusty and I were talking about our bank statement program will go as little as 12 months. A lot of lenders only do 24, and we can put as little as 10% down. So, and no PMI. So it's a fantastic product as well. So when you have that self-employed person that says, yeah, I make good money, and they live the lifestyle of the good money, but then they go, yeah, but I just don't show a lot on my tax return. This might be an opportunity product. Yeah.
What's the catch on that loan? The interest rate higher, the fees higher?
It was a little bit. Yeah. The fees weren't necessarily higher, but let me back up. The fees were higher because we took his rate from 6,625, which is what he was locked at originally when we were using tax returns, to 7,625, but no PMI. So if PMI is roughly 30 or 40 basis points, it was probably about a 75, about 0.75% higher in rate, roughly. And the fees were a little bit higher because for no prepayment penalty, he can refinance after 3 payments. There's no, I couldn't take his rate really. If I took his rate up higher, he still would have qualified fine, but I knew we were going to refinance it in a few months anyway. The goal, he's going to file his 25 return, and then he'll show more income on his 25 return, and then I can actually qualify him with it. And keep in mind, the departing residence that he also bought non-contingent. We'll wipe that out too. So he's got some good options coming soon. But yeah, when you step outside script and you go under we call them alternate programs, non-conforming is the term the lending industry uses. Generally, there's going to be you pay a little bit for that. The convenience and stuff. Absolutely. Makes sense. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Don.
Appreciate that. Love hearing the wins. It's great. Rusty and Raylyn with the Apex Underground.
Right.
Hi, ladies.
Missing Tim saying,
He'll roll in here in about 10 minutes.
Right. Tim time, that's a good one. Let's see, proceeds at closing. Just so you guys know that we do that. I had a client, it's fine. No pun intended. So some of these big ticket items, right? You have a $30,000 situation and things like that. We are okay to do the proceeds at closing if you can run that through title. We just have to make for sure that you've made it to the point of past resolutions and you've made it past appraisals. Because that makes me feel warm and fuzzy that I know you're actually going to make it to the finish line, because not everybody has that money just sitting around. So they really do need those proceeds to pay for it. So it just protects everybody. And there's different ways that we can handle all those types of things. But for any of your guys' situations, just let me know if you guys run across that and a client's like, oh my God, I can't move forward. Well, yeah, you can, because we do have options. So
Can't we split the payment between buyer and seller if we needed?
we help that. We help a lot of agents make those decisions, and helping the agents talk to their client of, well, usually the seller is really, right, that's their home, right? They should have been just like a roof too, right, Buffy? Like those are things that you have to take care of. It's an investment in your home. So sometimes maybe they're not sure if the laterals are okay in the septic scenario. So they just want to do a tank replacement, but then we show up to do the tank replacement. And now the laterals are failing because all the water is rushing back in. So now we have to explain why everyone needs to stop. We can't close anymore because the laterals are failing. So we have to do all this process to get it going. But sometimes the people really want the house. The buyers really want that house, and they are willing to put a little money with it. We just had that scenario happen with a Presby. And I know not everyone knows what those are, but when we have to ship in aggregate sand and things like that from up north, it costs a lot of money to get it there. So those systems go in at $40,000. So the client's like, well, all I have is $30,000. That's all I have out of my proceeds. So I'm not going to be able to make any money off this house and all the things. So we were able to talk with the buyers, and they were able to come up with the rest of the money, and we were able to get the deal closed. So there are solutions. It's not the end of the world. Just we can work with you to get the deal done. So
Appreciate that.
Good job, ladies.
Thank you. These are great things to know.
Yes.
Good things to know. All right, Buffy with Royal Roofing and Solar. Let's give it up for Buffy. She always brings us treats and pop-bys and fun things, and we really appreciate that. Thank you.
I just want to go on Rusty. We also collect proceeds at closing. So we'll put the roof on 10 days before or within that 10-day window, just to make sure you guys get to the finish line. But I also want to say, I got a call from a realtor last week, actually a text message at 9:30 at night, needing somebody to go out there. And so my guys went out there the next morning by 9 o'clock in the morning, had the report back to them by 10 o'clock. So I'm on, yeah. But I just want to let you know, I'm on realtor time too. Like I answer my phone, I answer text messages, I don't have a set schedule. So I can, when you guys work and when you guys need us is when we're available too. So, and I appreciate it. So yes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. All right. I don't see any other vendors. Appreciate y'all. All right, today, right after team meeting, we do have a lunch and learn. If you would like some help with your marketing, we might have the solution here with the personal marketing company. They were at Family Reunion in wherever that was. It wasn't this year in Atlanta. It was last year in Las Vegas. That's where I met this lady. She is from Kansas City area. And she has, well, it's not her personal company, but she works for the personal marketing company. So they do postcards, automated marketing subscriptions, newsletters, email marketing. They have different packages and different things. One of the things that I really was kind of intrigued in is they have a follow-up package that for $48, whenever you close a deal, you pay them $48. And for the next, I believe it's the whole year, they send them things throughout the year with your branding on it. So anyway, if you could use some leverage, there you are, Tim. Come on in. Yay, Tim! Oh! We were just saying how we missed you.
Wow. I see it was saved. I love
It was.
Incredible.
So this is this is today, right after team meeting. If you didn't sign up, she's bringing extra lunch. Please stick around. It'll be at 11:30 today. So if you'd like to learn more about what the personal marketing company has to offer, stick around. All right, we would like to bring our culture committee up to talk to us about Red Day. So let's give it up for Rusty and Stephanie. Yay!
thanks, Stephanie. Oh, we do have a slide? Look at that. It's beautiful. Thank you, Chat GTP. So who's all going? Raise your hand. Look at that attendance. I love that. You going? Fives? Anybody?
I'm gonna be at my bachelor party, so.
On Thursday? Okay. It's fine.
Good day bachelor party.
Sounds way
Bring
more
the
fun.
guys.
Gotta be drunk by now.
You're in a
Oh,
commercial real estate class, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. All's forgiven. So anyways, we'll meet here 8 a.m., right? Okay. Same as normal. If you, anyone here, have you been to Red Day before? Are you coming? Okay. So you, oh yeah, you got your shirt there. So we show up here, maybe have some coffee. Maybe if we're lucky, somebody got us some donuts. I don't know, something like that. We come here and we ultimately take a picture together. So then we have our, how do you say that? Why do you say that?
Obligatory.
Thank you, that word. We'll have that and then we'll head straight over there at, what was that park's name? I forgot. Yeah, Raceback Park. We're gonna go make the park and recs look really pretty. So that's gonna be our give back to the community this year. Make for sure you dress accordingly. If you are that person like Raylan that, what's that called? My brain's not working today, is it? It's fine. Poison ivy just goes through the wind, right? You probably should wear long sleeves, all the things. They're going to have all the tools that we need. Bring your gloves. I can lift probably about 50 pounds more with gloves. It's like super gloves is what I call them. So make sure you come dressed accordingly. If you need safety goggles, you're that person, bring those. It's not that big a deal. We're picking up branches and just making everything look better. So if you guys have any questions, most of you have my phone number. Feel free to call. Stephanie's in the office down here. Ask her too. So whatever you guys need, we're excited to have you guys. Oh.
Okay, very good.
Thanks, ladies.
Also, after we're done, after we're doing the Red Day stuff, Lonnie is taking us out to lunch. So we're going to do that. Right, Lonnie?
The office is taking us out to lunch. Yes, yes.
Where's lunch at?
Merle's.
They got a bar there. Let me rethink.
All right. We need eight more shirts. All right. So that's coming up this Thursday, which also means, and this is a Keller Williams worldwide thing, actually. It's a company-wide thing to honor Mo Anderson. Yes, today's her birthday, actually. She is 89 years old. And so she is the queen of culture for Keller Williams, and this was her idea. We've been doing this, I don't know how long. And so all the Keller Williams offices around the nation, for sure, probably around the world, are giving back to their communities at the same time on Thursday. So that being said, our office will be unmanned. It'll be locked up. So if you need to access the building, I don't know, you got your key fob. So just know that we won't have anybody at the front desk for at least the first half of the day. After lunch, we'll all be here. We'll be, rocking as always. So that's coming up Thursday. Next Wednesday, so not tomorrow, but the next Wednesday, we have a guest speaker coming from Kingdom Capital. They are in investing. They don't do loans for residential, like to live in. What do you call that, Todd? They don't do those loans. These are people that do investment type loans, the DSCRs, the fix and flips, of cash out refis. They package deals together. That's all they do is help investors buy property. So you'll want to be here. This is our wealth building club that's coming, that our wealth building. So it's at 3 p.m. on Wednesday, the 20th, followed by happy hour over at Johnny's Tavern. So come if you want to. We're making investor loans simple. So not just for yourself, but for your clients.
Yeah. First of all, congratulations to the people in our investment club that have actually now taken their first step. Carrie, you just under contract for a buy and hold. Give it up for Carrie.
Yay, Carrie.
Don't want to miss anybody. Silas, you got one?
Yep.
Buy and hold or flip?
Yeah.
Send me the details, man. I want to know about it. Yeah.
It's, of course, I don't know the budget, but.
Yeah. Okay. That's not bad, actually. Scott's usually 20,000, so don't even want to sit next to him. Who else is doing a flip? Steve and I are working on a deal together. It's a flip, so versus a buy and hold. Scott's got 12 of them, maybe. How many you got? None? Okay. Well, he's been in the race for us. So.
Jake's got one right now, right?
Jake, you got one?
Yep. 3.
Okay.
Okay.
What's cool is we're getting some momentum.
Yeah.
Got some people doing their first one or two and things like that as well. So it's kind of exciting. the reason we brought these folks in, and Brandy deserves all the credit here, is they're just going to show us a simple way to understand this from A to Z, from
Yes.
start to finish, from identifying the property to your first phone call to what happens all the way to closing and funding and that sort of thing. So it's going to be for you guys. And if you're not in the investment club, come anyway. Let us know, please. We're going to send out an RSVP. It's very important to know how many people we're going to have in this room for
That's
this.
true.
Because sometimes we have 15, then the next thing you know, we have 45, and it can make a huge difference. But we're going to dummy this thing down to the simplest level. Now, whether you want to use this company or not, that's completely up to you, but know what your options are. Really, really important to know what your options are. The deal I'm working on right now, I literally went down to the bank. One of the bankers that I shared with the investment club, and it was literally sit down in front of the guy, and he's just like, okay, yeah, whatever you need, just let me know what you buy. That kind of thing, okay? Now, we've been doing it a while, so we're not new at this. But then I sent another client in to do the same thing, who they're very solid financially and all that, and basically he called me 30 minutes later and goes, yeah, they can buy whatever they want. And I'm
Nice.
like, okay, that's the banker I need for these kind of things. So
Sure.
get to know these people that have the money to make these things happen. You guys are you're in a unique position to identify flips. Okay, if you don't want to retain them, be a landlord, cool. I don't blame you sometimes. But nonetheless, you're going to come across flips. Brandy and I and Caesar went and looked at one a couple weeks ago. And on paper, it looked like one we might want to chase. But when we pulled back, really looked at it, there wasn't enough margin there to do it, and we don't need to practice.
Right.
So we identified this just isn't what we thought it was, right? So they're not all going to work out. Sometimes you have to look at 5, 6, 7 to find one good deal. Not every deal is a good deal.
Absolutely. And I would say don't wait until you have the deal to figure out. I mean, you can stumble. I just will tell you, I stumbled on a sweetheart of a deal, but I didn't have my ducks in a row. I couldn't go for it. I wasn't ready. And so I am kicking myself to that day. Now, I handed it off to somebody in the family. So it's, I think my dad bought it. It was his only fix and flip he did. But he won big time. So I'm glad he got it, but I'm kicking myself that I wasn't ready. So even if you're not quite thinking you're there, just come and learn so you know what's available, so you know what's out there. Again, we're going to make this super simple. And I would encourage you, bring your spouse if you want to. Your spouses can come to these meetings, right, Ani? I'm just saying that. Because we do things together, right? Sometimes I notice, like, I'll go to a great class, I'll come home and I'll tell Caesar, I'm like, this is what they said, this is what they did. And he's excited, but he doesn't quite, he wasn't there. So sometimes when you're there together, you learn together, it helps. So invite people. This isn't just strictly for us. I would say, bring your spouse, bring your kids, bring.
And really, guys, this wealth building it sounds kind of intimidating. It's just growing. It's knowing more about financing, your personal finances, what you could potentially do. And if this isn't for you, learn anyway, because maybe you can help somebody else. Maybe there's a family member that you can help with their journey and things like that. And you'll look back and be really excited that you helped them get into their first house, their first investment property, their first 5 investment properties, whatever that looks like. This is a huge move for our markets, and it's the next level in our growth. You guys, I mean, you said, we'll talk about it here in a second, but you set a record in April, all-time records, fantastic. But we got that. We understand. We're running the Southland play very, very well. So this is our next thing. We want more and more people to build wealth and help others build wealth. So if that sounds like anything, it's intimidating, maybe from the outside. Once you really inspect this thing a little bit, you'll realize it's not brain surgery.
No.
There's a reason that a lot of guys in our office are finding these houses and making nice checks. And they're not brain surgeons, okay? They're hard workers is what they are.
Absolutely. Well, so mark your calendar there. We will have another career night coming up May 21st. It's a Thursday. I'll be here hanging out. We had a great career night thanks to y'all last time. In fact, I think we had 7 guests here. Plus Trisha came and a couple others, Sandy, Trisha, a couple other agents, Tim came. And I'll tell you what, guess who was there? And she's not here today, but Lisa Cummings was in that group at my last, I believe it was in February, was my last, or March. It was my last career night. She went to school, got her license, and she's at home or she had to go visit her mom today. So otherwise she'd be here. She just got her first listing signed, and it's a listing and it's a buy. And she met this person at an open house. So she is, I just want to brag on Lisa for a minute because she's in here every day. Every day she's in here and she's just grinding away and it's working. But anyway, so if you know anybody that wants to know more about real estate, send them my way, send them to career night. I'll post this so you can share it. coming up this month. We will be closed, the office will be closed on Memorial Day, so, and I know Kaufelt will be also, so keep that in mind. Of course, you all are always welcome to access the building. We just won't be here. There is a lunch and learn. We like lunch and learns around here, right, Buffy? We do. So there's a lunch and learn coming up. I think more details will come out, but just mark your calendar. That's May 26th, so 2 weeks from today. And I don't know if we're having pizza. That was just a graphic, so I'm sure it'll be great. Keep that on your calendar. CE classes. We have 2 more that we're bringing into the Market Center. This is one of them. Later this month, May 29th, it's a Friday 10 to 1 on residential structural inspections. These people come and bring us 3 free CE credits and lunch. So if you need some more elective credits, sign up. You have to sign up on her link. And so this is on Facebook. There's a QR code here. We have another one coming up in July. So we're going to take June off, but this will be our last one that we do. So if you want free CE brought to our office, this is our last one. This one is on pests and environmental hazards. And we got some termites up there. So whatever pests we might find, that's what they're going to be teaching on. This is that Michael, many of you guys really enjoyed him. He came, talked to us about mold. So he also has a QR code. You have to sign up with him as well. You can't just tell us. We don't track with these. All right, let's do this. Let's do we'll spend about 5-6 minutes on buyers, listings, and open houses. Yep, Shelby's got a listing. Okay.
And I need it sold tomorrow. If you bring me a buyer, I will supply you with bundt cakes as long as I can afford.
Bundt cakes, wow. Yes.
It's $299. Really well taken care of. Newer HVAC, newer roof. It's perfect. Cul-de-sac is lovely. Our dear friends live there. Wonderful. They moved here from California without even seeing their house. So the neighborhood is awesome. So come see it, please, free buyer.
They have a contingency on my listing.
So please bring them a buyer.
Please.
Please. All right, Trisha.
Walkout basement, split level kind of thing in Belton, with an amazing new deck built by us right there. That's on the market for $330,000 in Belton. And then I have one coming this weekend in the Silver Lake community. It is a 1.5, but completely finished walkout basement, 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, non-conforming 5th bedroom, really cool backyard with lots of decks, brick patios, outdoor kitchen.
Nice.
Really cool house, beautiful. One time, they're only owners, so.
What will that go on the market for? $450.
It's a Raymore or Bell.
She said Silver Lake.
Is that at Silver Lake or the Lakeshore side? Lakeshore Place, right?
Gotcha. Hey, Ashley.
I still have my lovely buyer who only wants to buy in Foxwood. So if anybody comes across anything coming up in Foxwood, I know we have somebody, Tammy Brennan has one at some point coming to the market sometime. Or if you want free cats, Tammy's property can get on the market sooner for my buyer.
yeah.
So I got some
That's
options.
right.
Buy some cats, sell a house, whatever. Get some cats. You don't have to buy them. They're free.
I love all the creativity.
But I need one in Foxwood.
All right, Foxwood.
My listing peculiar, shared quite a bit of information about it. I had the open house Saturday, had 29 people come through.
Wow.
Cool. I posted about it, I put out 22 signs, like 5 corners. And I make big signs so everybody sees them and it seemed to really work. I also put up quite a few videos and had great views on the videos. My point is, it's 5 acres, 4.7, really cool home, unique property. If you have anyone looking, it's listed at 725. Seller myself, know that's maybe a little high. So if you're looking at something or want someone who wants something kind of unique in town, but still pretty and peaceful, let me know.
Okay.
Take a look.
Good listing, Paul.
Yeah.
Really good.
Got a 2-1 in Harrisonville coming to market for Friday, 1,000 square feet. It's been nicely updated. It's got a 12 by 25, call it a shop. Call it whatever you want. It's unfinished. space there, and it's got oversized detached 2-car garage. So a lot of cool hobby space. The house is a solid 2-1, so 195 on the market on Friday.
Nice.
More shop square footage than house square footage.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Tim, did you have something?
Yeah, I've got that. It just went live this past weekend. It's a 4-bed, 3.5 bath on 5 acres in Lone Jack. It's got a massive outbuilding. It's listed at $650. They just did some updates. She put in a new heating and cooling system throughout. And she's not like in a hurry to get out of the house, but can whenever. So if you need a flexible situation, she might be somebody that could entertain a contingent offer, or if you need to get a house on the market or something like that, we'd be a good possibility for that.
Nice.
Is it already listed or is it?
It is. It just went live this past weekend.
Okay, I might, I have a buyer looking for something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Love that.
okay.
It's on Bynum Road in Lone Jack, 12204 South Bynum.
Anybody else listening? Yeah, Laura.
Full basement, full-car garage, got a large yard, and probably under 190. And I have a buyer looking for a ranch, Belton Raymore, with a large lot, where the outbuilding on it or
Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. Teresa.
So anyway, there are papers up in all kinds of, and we have a wonderful buyer who is flexible, who's willing to wait for them or whatever. But we really need to find a house. So they up to 400. They just want their laundry room to be not the basement. That's their main priority for the week.
Okay. Oh,
I got one in 395 in Lee Summit with the laundry on the main floor. But it's downtown Lee Summit.
It is
It's cute. It's just kind of a weird floor plan. So that one's the downtown Lee Summit off First Street. It's right across the street from the school there. So it's walking distance from downtown Lee Summit. It was built in 1890, which is cool. It's got a kind of like a cellar basement that you can walk in it. It's tall enough where you can walk in it. That one we did a price drop to $395. And then we've got one that we put out Harrisonville, went live Thursday. It's 1,900 square foot, 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's fully updated, just pretty cute for $285 in Harrisonville. And I've got one in Raymore coming up next week that's just like Trisha's. It's non-conforming in the basement, but it's only 2-bed, bathroom, and it'll be 400. So we're kind of, it's not on Lake Shore, but just on the other side of that.
okay. Cool. Scott, what you got?
Freeman, both ranches, 3-2s up in the basement walkouts, I-4s, and then one in Twin Oaks and Peculiar, reverse ranch 4-3. It's getting sheetrock right now. I-4 as well.
All right. Very good. Love that. Lonnie, oh, hold on. Sorry. Sorry.
Okay, we've got a 4-bed, 3-bath in Adrian, in-ground saltwater pool with 3 waterfalls, a shop with concrete electric and a pond, and we are at $625.
Okay.
on
Adrian.
5 acres.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, Lonnie, you got anything?
Yeah, we've got Lakeshore, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, Dahmer split, really nice. They're putting a new roof on it now, really clean. It'll be 360, goes in the pre-MLS, I think Tuesday. We just went pre-MLS on one in Belray Estates in Belton, 297. Nice big raised ranch. It's the biggest footprint that they built in Belray. That house also has a new roof. All the big ticket things are new. Still needs some small cosmetics, but under 300 for a big footprint like that. It's a smoking deal. And then coolest meeting I've been on a long time. Went to Bent Tree Bluff in Lee Summit. You guys know that area. It's a very mature, established area built out in like the 90s. But that was kind of like the next Lakewood at that time. So really, really cool. One owner house for the most part. These people have owned it forever. Time for John Knox Village, right? So they were referred to me by the Jansen family, who I've handled at least 3 sales for them and another 4, we can't even figure it out, 4 to 6 for their kids. So we're 10 deep with this. That's the top of that triangle I'm talking about. That's a 6-figure family for our business right now. And this one came out of nowhere. I mean, and the lady just called me and she goes, "Hey, we know a million realtors, but our neighbor just said, if we're going to do this, we got to talk to you." So I kind of thought I was interviewing, but by the time I got there, she'd already sold them on us. So we're really
Very
excited
good.
about that. But 497, beautiful story and a half. You just appointed perfectly in a great subdivision.
Great. Awesome. Good deal.
That Bellray is that on Spring Valley coming June 3rd?
Spring Valley, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. 290, Bellray is 297. And then the one in Lee Summit and Bentry is 497.
All right, very good. If you have more listings, buyers, open houses, let's post them in the Facebook group. Darren is not here today, so I think everything's good. He just told us he didn't have anything, so.
So he didn't show.
So he didn't show.
That's perfect. I like it.
I think he said
See
we
ya.
did everything right.
I'm out.
All right, I do have a few things for you today. I love bringing the mindset. I love bringing the mindset moment of the team because I know Lonnie's got the technical stuff covered, and both are equally important in my mind. So I want to make sure that we hit. Have you guys ever been to Bold or some sort of highly motivating class? I'm trying to think of something else. It could be family reunion. It could be, have you been in an environment where you get pumped, you get jazzed, you get like light bulbs are coming off and you're just getting excited? Anybody can relate to that?
Yeah.
Yep. And then you come home and Bold's over and guess what? We're back to like the way life was. Like, but in Bold, you're like, oh, I'm changing everything. And sometimes we do, but a lot of times we sneak back into our old ways and our old habits. I have a sneaking suspicion I know why. That is because who you surround yourself with, your environment, will either stretch your future or it will shrink it. So I want to talk about the power of your environment, where you put yourself, who you put yourself around. What you got, Jake? What you got going on there? And you have three properties right now that you're flipping, and you're welcome. So we're talking about your environment and the power of your environment. And so your environment shapes your identity. So if you've ever been in a place like that, where you're in an environment where people are jazzed up, the Bold coach has got everybody hyped. It's electric. You are just convinced you can do anything in that environment. And then you step out of that environment, you come back home and you get people going, yeah, I don't know. They just kind of bring you down, right? Because your environment shapes your identity. I thought this was a good analogy. Are you hanging out with the Eagles or with the Turkeys? Who are you hanging out with? Because it matters, right? Look at those birds. They're both birds.
We're
both
swagger.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, turkey. Gobble, gobble.
They both have feathers. They both have, a beak and claws and all the things, but they're very different birds, right? And so you can trick yourself to make yourself think that you're hanging out with the crowd you want to be in. But I'm asking us to do a little self-inventory. Who are you hanging out with? Because it's really hard to soar with the Eagles when you're spending time on the ground hanging out with the turkeys. We know turkeys, they can fly a little bit, right? They're not known for their flying and definitely not their soaring. So just ask yourself, is my environment pulling the greatness out of me, or is my environment draining the greatness from me? Your environment is doing one of the two. And so here's another one. Are you a thermometer or a thermostat? A thermometer is in the room and it just absorbs everything in the room and it gives a reading, right? It does nothing but kind of reflect what's going on. And so a thermometer is really kind of a powerless tool. It just gives a reading, and they're soaking up in all the heat in the room and then reflecting that back. Or are you a thermostat that actually goes into the room and you can change the atmosphere of the room? So just things to think about. If you're in a negative environment, like a negative office, which that's not this one, but if you're in a negative environment, you might pick up a negative mindset. If you have small thinking, you're going to get small results. If you have fearful conversations, if you're fearful and worried and anxious, you're going to make fearful decisions. And then if you have average habits and you're around average people, you're going to have an average business. You're going to have an average life. And if that's what you want, if you're good with that, okay. I'm not here to judge one way or the other. I'm just saying, Successful people that really want to go somewhere in their life, they are not a thermometer, they are a thermostat. They take control and intentionally create environments and put themselves into environments that raise their level of thinking and results. So, couple thoughts here. You might have to have some different conversations, some different thoughts, some different habits, different expectations. If you don't like where you're at in life, and again, I say this a lot, that your business grows to the extent that you do. So your business, your financial picture is a direct reflection of yourself and your growth and where you are in life. And so if you don't like that, the cool thing is you get to change that. You get to change that. You don't have to settle for that. And who you do business with matters. This is something I heard in Keller Williams. I've heard it from day one and beyond. And it's almost like it keeps getting confirmed over and over and over again. Different co-op relationships we have, different conversations we have, for the good and the bad, right? Have y'all been out there? You're dealing with other agents and other brokerages, and sometimes they're really amazing. You're like, wow, I had an all-star on the other side of this, and it made this thing go smooth. But then we've had the flip side of that, and we've had a total bummer on the other side. That's a nice word, right? And where we had to drag the thing across. And maybe, there was some collateral damage. Maybe our buyers and our sellers got upset. Maybe they lost money. Maybe, all these things can happen because who we do business with matters. And business has a transferable energy. And so what that other person is projecting, it's hard to not let that pull you down if it's a negative thing. If it's an upbeat person, it's hard to be, to not be affected by that also. So if you're constantly surround yourself with agents who complain, have you been around those agents? I've talked to them. This market is just terrible. This market's so hard. Nothing is selling. Everything is sitting. These buyers are just impossible. I've shown 58 houses. Nobody has money these days. Todd won't lower the rates, like all the things. And they're just griping about why they're not selling houses. And if you hang out with that person long enough, you're going to find reasons that back that person up. And you're going to start to lose that, your positive outlook. And you're going to start to believe that opportunity is disappearing. But however, the flip side is also true. If you hang out with solution-oriented people, the people that think about, how do I solve this? It is what it is. Todd won't lower the rates. What are we going to do? And so how do we adapt? Where is the opportunity? Who is buying? Who is selling? Where are these houses? Where is the company that is breaking records every month? Where is the opportunity? Because it's there and you will find it if you will look for it. Let's see. I got another point. Your circle will either normalize your growth or it will normalize your excuses. Who you surround yourself with will either call you on it when you're having a negative mindset. I've seen Nanette and Stacy, these friends. You guys have been friends for a long time. I see you guys go back and forth like sisters a little bit. So having somebody that will call you on your negative mindset and go, I hear you, it's a bad day, and that sounds like fear talking, or that sounds like anxiety talking, or that's, let's not do that. Let's get back into the good, positive framework. So they can either call you up or they'll pull you down and go, you're right, it does suck out there. It is hard. Who is selling? And you don't want them to join you in that because then it justifies that thought, right? So be thinking about that. The people you partner with, you learn from and you negotiate with and you spend time around will affect your confidence. They'll affect your standards, your ethics, your mindset, your momentum. That's why get around people that pull you up, call you up, that people that think bigger than you think. It will rub off. So who you do business with matters. Your environment quietly shapes your standards. What I have on this is that people will rise and fall to the standards around them, not your potential, not what you want, not the goal you put on your vision board. That's not what you rise to. You rise to your standards. And so it's kind of like these walkways in the airport. If you're in a great environment, do y'all take those? You get on there and you let it carry you along in your bag and all that. Well, that is, when you're in a great environment, that environment will pull you forward even when you're tired, even when your legs are tired, even when, your environment can pull you along. And so getting in the right environment with the right people will help you so much. It will also do the opposite. Getting in the wrong environment will pull you back. When you're tired and you let off you don't want to be the smartest person in the room. You don't want to have the biggest business in the room. You don't want to be that. You want to get into a place where you are inspired to grow and to continue to grow your life, grow your business. So let's see. I'm skipping over all this, but in real estate, proximity does matter. If you surround yourself with agents who are practicing their scripts, they're sitting in class, they're learning pricing strategies, they're role playing, they're honing their skills, they're getting out there and they study the market, they're growing personally. You'll surround yourself with those people and your business will naturally be elevated when you hang out with these people, rub elbows with these kind of people. Because excellence, I like this, excellence is contagious, but so is mediocrity. And so last thing I have, just as a challenge, I want you to ask yourself, who are you allowing to influence your thinking? Who are you listening to? What conversations dominate my life? What environments am I repeatedly stepping into? Where do I put myself? And then do the people around me challenge me to grow, or do they comfort me into staying the same? So ask yourself that. Just do an evaluation this week to be watching and say, am I okay with that? Am I okay with that? I hope that you guys will see that in myself and Caesar and Lonnie and the other leadership around here, we're always trying to pour into you, give you our best, give you our time, give you anything we have. You know, as a way to make this a great environment. So hopefully, and I believe, and I don't know where this is going, but I think it kind of leads into maybe what you're going to talk about, or at least have some bridge over there. But let me make sure is that it? Your future may not be determined so much by your talent as much as it is determined by your environment. So you can take a very talented person, put them in a really crummy environment, and it's going to pull them down. So, you know, your environment is more powerful than you might think. So, all right, Lonnie Branson.
Yeah, good job, Brandy. I love that. Where's Nanette? Nanette's here.
She is.
Hi.
There she is.
So let's talk about mindset again. I want to just stop on that. We had, it's safe to say, had a little bumpy week last week. Okay, maybe one of the worst weeks ever.
No.
Yours was better than mine. So anyway, we had a few things not go our way. We'll just leave it at that. And I didn't even want to look at her the next day because I was like, gosh, I know we got kicked on a couple deals. And I walk in here and she's just as happy as she always is. That's hard to do. And you might have been faking it. I appreciate you faking it. But I was kind of expecting the other side of it, to be honest with you. So guys, we got to get our head right in this thing. I get to hear a lot of your stories. I've talked about this before. Several of us have been fired lately, okay, right?
Yeah.
Even some of the top agents have been doing this a long time. People call and go, well, you know, maybe we're not the best fit. I'm going to go with, you know, my neighbor's daughter's, you know, friend. What? Okay, that happens to all of us. So just know that's ahead of you in this business. So you just tighten up your belly. You're going to get punched every now and then. You move forward, okay? Marcia and I talked about this a couple of months ago. We just got to have our mind right. If our mind's right and we do the work, the results will show. I promise you, it will show up. And if it's not, grab me and we'll figure out why it's not happening, okay? We'll see that it happens. But we've got to keep our heads straight. But here's why we want to do that. You guys picked an industry that is there. Is there a salary? Did you get a salary for selling houses? Yeah. If anybody has a salary, let me know how that works. Silas probably has one. But most of us don't have a salary. But with that, the upside is you get to determine your own hours and your own outcome. Okay. And the outcome is whatever you're willing to put into it. Okay. I'm staring at people in this room making multiple six figures and have big lives and buying investment properties and doing some pretty building homes, all this cool stuff. Our industry can afford that, okay? You go over here and you work for Chewy for 60 grand a year, you got benefits, that's fantastic, and you work 9 to 5 and you sleep like a baby. Nothing against the Chewy people, if anybody's working at Chewy right now. But at the end of the day, our upside and what we can get out of this is big, but that comes with a price. And the prices, we're gonna have some ups and downs. You got to be okay with the downs too. Celebrate the ups, okay? But know the downs will come with that, okay? If you choose to focus on the negative, that's exactly what you're going to attract, and you're going to be miserable. Let the negative things happen, move past them, and just grow from it, okay? It's just kind of part of the deal. Find somebody who's been through the same thing and just tell them your story of what you just went through. Then they're going to tell you the 3 times it happened to them, okay? You are not unique. You did not invent a new way to get fired. I promise you, you did not invent a new way to get fired. So we were talking about investment property real quick. I hit on this on the mastermind call. We call it the Thursday 30 that was 18. Okay, I still don't understand that math, but we'll work on that. If I'm buying an investment property, my first one, I want the biggest POS I can find. And you're like, well, who wants that? Here's why, okay? Think about this. Now, Silas can go buy a Raymore $300,000 nice cookie cutter split entry that's going to rent for $2,000 a month. He's like, I like that, okay? Or he could buy the one that's beat the you know what for $210,000, put 50 or 60 in it, okay, which he can finance if he plays the game the right way. And now he's got a house with new roof, new windows, new wiring, just goes on and on and on. So it's no longer built in 1999. It might as effective age might as well be almost new. You guys get the difference? And if I'm embarking on my first rental property, which I'm a little scared by it all anyway, because what if they call and the furnace goes out? I would pretty much like to know that the big ticket items should be good for the first 10 years of my ownership. You guys get that? Mm-hmm. But what are we're all chasing the cream puffs when I think we need to be chasing the turds. Okay. So my motto is chase the turds.
Chase the turds.
That's all I got. All right. No, I got more. Yeah. I think I should have finished with that. Chase the turds.
Bonnie on
Quote
Facebook.
me on that. Yeah, that's probably going to be up there next week. Caesar will have that and highlighted in one fashion or another. Okay. Who in this room? It's spring and summer. We're taking a lot of listings. Good for you guys. I heard a lot of listing stories. Who's taking a listing and the seller decided to go a little above the target market price? Okay. Happens to everybody. By the way, I think it's happening more now than ever because the reality is values are starting to plane out a little bit and expectations are still going up like this. That gap creates that. You guys get that? So we have some people, Leawood South Country Club, great little place over in Leawood, referred to us by a VIP vendor. We go over there. They love us, right? Been working with it for a while. Goes in the pre-MLS today. Fantastic house. It's worth $550 to $575, $585, upper fives if we just hit a home run. Okay. Shared all the data, all that kind of stuff. LB, you're the smartest guy we know. We'll follow your lead. We get an email. Hey, we're pumping the brakes right now because we really think the house is worth a lot more than you think it is. Okay, great. Well, I'm new at this, so let me know what you think. So immediately versus them start maybe talking to other agents or whatever, we immediately just went right back and said, hey, I understand where you're at. I have many sellers that, especially that aren't in a hurry, that sometimes will want to test the market above the data. And we're 100% on board with that. But if the house doesn't sell, no, we may have to go back to the conversation of where this data leads us. So I said, look, well, what if we tested the market, Teamify? What if we did test the market at 625, 635? I could tell that's where they wanted to be. And let the market tell us, Teamify, that we can't get it. Immediately, here comes an email. Oh my God, that's so great. We're so excited now. And if we can't get in the sixes, we can't get in the sixes. We're not in a hurry, all that kind of stuff. So we went from thinking, hey, they may start interviewing other agents to just by doing that, teamifying it and say, hey, I think the data's here, but let's let the market tell us we can't get it. By the way, we also did a little bit of flattery saying, hey, if there's ever a house to get above the data, it's yours. You think they like to hear that? They lived in this house 23 years. They'd love hearing that kind of stuff. If there's ever a community hotter than your Leawood South golf course community that could pull this off, it might be your area right now, okay? So your timing's right. You're in the best subdivision. You got an amazing house. Anything is possible. Probability still tells me we're in the fives, but let's launch this thing and let the market tell us we can't get it. So I don't think we can get it, but we see situations. Didn't you have an acreage that you thought was overpriced and it's already under contract? Okay. So it wasn't acreage. It was a house, Cherry Hill, right? Okay. Gotcha. We talked about that, strategized. Sound a little heavy. It's under contract. Okay. 9 times out of 10, that probably doesn't work. This time it did. Okay. So get hired, teamify the efforts, let them know where the data is likely going to lead you, and then just coach and consult your way through this process, okay? Set the proper expectations and so on and so forth. Is anybody dealing with one of those right now? Anybody? Yeah, it happens, right? You okay with it? Yeah, okay. As long as they're okay with it. And don't be pressured. If it's not getting a lot of showings, if it's not getting offers, it's playing out exactly how you told them it was going to play out. Okay. By the way, is your log home closed? It was time. That was last week's team
9
meeting when you were
months,
closing
yeah.
it. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was a long one. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you two success stories. Okay. First of all, we may have talked about this before, but I want to hit on this. Brandy had a listing pre-MLS, a very experienced agent who could be a little bit rough around the edges, hit her while in pre-MLS with an amazing offer. And the amazing offer was a price that we didn't think we could get, terms we didn't think we could get, and they could hit the easy button. After she consulted with her seller says, why wouldn't we do this? This sounds like it's almost too good to be true. So just before they sign the contract, that same little shifty agent goes, oh, by the way, I want to grab my people and run through the house real quick. Wait a minute, you're in as-is box 3, buying it sight unseen and all that, and now you're kind of shifting on us a little bit. Anything to add there?
No,
Kind of how it went down?
Yeah.
So what's that? No,
we
we can't. So Brandy all of a sudden went from, wow, this, and then, by the way, this agent has a reputation earned over 2 decades of being very shifty. Okay, we'll just call her Jenny with Century 21 for now. But anyway.
Now.
So, but Brandy was okay with it because she's like, hey, what they're giving my seller, I have to get past that and just do what's best for my client, right up until those true colors showed up from that person. And those true colors said, hey, last minute shuffle, I need to get in here at 4 o'clock tonight. I'm going to get my people in there right away before we go sign anything, which we can't do. And all of a sudden she pumps the brake and she goes, uh-oh, her true colors are showing. Now I'm concerned. So she consulted with her seller and goes, hey, this is out of the ordinary. Something doesn't feel right to me. What do you want to do? And the seller's like, well, let's just wait. We'll just bring it on the open market in a week or two. And if they're still there, great. And if they're not, we'll find somebody else. Okay. That agent, because of her tactics and the way she went about, she ended up getting the house, but net, almost 20?
20, it was 20.
20,000 more.
Cost her guy 20,000.
Now, her guy will never know. Well, I mean, I guess he, in theory, would know. But because it was the agent's action that caused him not to get it at this price, but pay 20 grand later when it went to the open market. Okay. Guys, your reputation and the way you conduct business and who you conduct it with, you get to carry that, good or bad. Okay. I was that version of that agent my first 7 or 8 years before I kind of got slightly colorized and still work in progress. But nonetheless, I chose not to be that anymore. Okay. But it took me a while to shake that reputation because I used to just steamroll people. It was awful. And I'm like, that doesn't work. But anyway, cost her client $20,000. Okay. That client's probably happy. They're going to like their house, all that kind of stuff. Little do they know their representation was absolutely JV. It was not varsity. They absolutely lost $20,000. Okay. So let's talk about somebody winning. Give it up for Shelby for winning. All right.
Shelby's a thermostat.
That's right.
Well,
that's right.
Yeah. Yes.
And one cakes for life.
Yeah. All right. So what happens? I launch, we're in pre-MLS for a month with an acreage listing. Shelby's called me every other day for 30 days. My people are going to love it. They haven't even seen it, but I know that's where they want to live, all this kind of stuff, but they have a house to sell. And I'm like, oh boy. So we launched the listing and, Shelby shows it along with 8 other agents. And 2 agents really want the house, Shelby and another person. And so Shelby approaches it one way and the other experienced agent approaches it differently. First of all, if I have a listing that is coming on live and I think it's probably going to sell pretty fast, I'm not going to take a soft contingency more often than not. I'm just not. That's my rule. When I have 8, 10, 12 showings, somebody's going to make an offer with no contingency. Okay, most likely. Or it's a firm contingency where their house is already under contract, right? We know the firm rule. Okay, that's how that goes. So anyway, Shelby comes rolling along. By the way, well-trained Shelby, okay, has been to classes. She engages in everything we have to offer at Southland. She comes in and her first question is, what is the seller wanting at? What is the seller trying to achieve? What are their goals? What works for them, okay? The agent with the other, by the way, the other agent had a contingency too. And he's an experienced EXP guy, okay? Veteran agent. We'll call it winner and also ran, okay? His first question is the seller prepared to pay my commission? Okay, that was his first question. Shelby didn't even bring it up. She knows me and she knows how we roll. Okay, but he got caught up on this. And there's multiple texts and everything. They prepared to pay a commission, all this kind of stuff. Shelby didn't focus on that. She focused on what's the seller's goal. She immediately went to building a case why she knows me. She knows I don't like taking contingencies, but she built a case why we should, okay, which I thought was brilliant. Where did she get all these ideas? Was it training in this room possibly? Was it on the Thursday call possibly? Was it all the above? You betcha. Okay. So train Shelby, her client doesn't even know that they had no chance to get the house if they didn't have Shelby as their agent. Okay. I'm just telling you. So what does she do? She alleviates some of my sellers' concerns on a soft contingency. Instead of hitting us with 30 or 45 days to get their house sold, and Archie, she goes, hey, we only need 20 days. In fact, I think I'll have it sold in half that, but 20 is what we're asking for. We're going to put up a big fat earnest deposit. Okay. We're going to go box 2. Okay. Box 2, just so we're clear, everybody know box 2 is you can do an inspection, but it doesn't mean anything to the sale. There is no cancellation. There is no anything. It's for informational purposes only. I think they're going to do away with box 2, by the way. We'll see. Earnest deposit, strong. Where'd you get that idea? In here. Escalation clause. Wow, have we done a class just on escalation clause? Everything was perfect. Oh, she also shared the house that we're contingent on. What a brilliant idea. Here's the cute little house. Here's the MLS listing. Here's the comps around that. Go check them out yourself, LB, blah, 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 blah. And she convinced me that that's a $300,000 house that should sell anytime, okay? So I was able to convey that with my seller. Because my seller, I had already told him, we're probably not taking a contingency. And I turned around and said, I think we want to consider this, okay? This guy simply asked about his commission, told me he's got a contingency. What do you think? And I said, well, tell me more. And 4 days later, he still hasn't told me anything, okay? He probably realizes now it's under a contingent contract, which he had a chance to get in there and scrap and get. None of this conversation happened. But by the way, his buyer wanted this house more than anything, is what he told me. His actions didn't match up at all. Winner also ran. You guys get that? The also ran, so this is a 20-year veteran, 18, 20-year, I would say, veteran in our industry that knows this game as well as anybody in this room. He just didn't have the work ethic. He wasn't going to chase it on his client's behalf to put their hat in the ring. Now, I could have forced him to probably make an offer, and he would have done it. And with an escalation clause, I probably could have bumped the price on Shelby a little bit and some different things. But this just felt so right the way it was done. And this felt so lazy that I'm like, in case they won, I didn't want to get in business with this guy. You guys get that? Okay, so our trained agent went out there and crushed it. Now, you got to go still do your job. We got to get it sold before somebody comes along and gives us a kickout notice, which could happen. So the next week, this could be a sad story. I don't know.
I called them and was sobbing yesterday.
You were crying? Okay.
So excited.
Good.
It's super special.
Good. So, yeah, the rest of the story will be next week, right? Let's see how that works.
They're built on, and her grandpa was born in a farmhouse at the beginning of the subdivision. I have to get them this house. It's true.
They removed their contingency. They got it. So we got to just figure that out. But you took an agent that hates contingency, a seller who's been coached for probably not taking one. You built a case for it, and you made it appealing because you gave us $5,000 more than we were asking. You gave us everything that you could. You loaded it up. We still could have said no, honestly, and I had to weigh all that out with the seller. And I could have had to call you and go, Shelby, we got to stay on the open market. You go get yours under contract. The second you do, if we're available, it's yours. That would have been easy to call you back. You would have then cried for a different reason. But nonetheless, you've secured it for now for your people, which is really, really just going above and beyond. And I just wanted to point that out, guys. We do this training for a reason. It can show up in your daily activities and what you're trying to do. This is a, what is it, 450, 475 property, something like that. So we'll call it a $14,000 commission. That's not what motivated her. What motivated her is this is the house her people had to have. Her grandma was named, the subdivision was named after Cleo's Point, is Cleo the grandma or something. I don't know what it was. But, oh, by the way, this guy also focused on the chickens out there. And they wanted to be sure the chickens were staying. So I had a 10 o'clock at night. He was focused on the chickens and a turkey that's out there. Anyway, crazy. Let's focus on the business part of the conversation. So anyway, I'm really excited for Shelby and what they were able to accomplish. It makes us feel good that when we do these trainings, sometimes we have trainings and we have 2 or 3 people show up. Sometimes we have 25 or 30, but people are absorbing some of this information, and then they get a chance every now and then to apply it. And when you're in a transaction with one of the agents who's applying it, that's really cool. In fact, there was a time I'm sitting there going, man, she's overtrained. I'm like, I got to cross my T's and dot my I's. I'm looking at the contract to see if she slipped something in on me or something like that. No, I knew you wouldn't do that, but nonetheless, I knew we had a trained agent there, so she deserves all the credit.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Great.
What do you got? Yeah, see, I'll wait.
So just to tie it all back in, so this agent, your buyer wins. We're going to speak that into existence. Your buyer wins this house because they did business with you. This buyer loses that house because they chose that guy.
And yet they don't even know.
They don't
even know that
They
they
don't
didn't
know.
even really have a fair chance. They just know that, oh, the agent's going to call and go, well, it looks like it's under contract. What do you want to look at next? You know, that kind of
Yep.
thing. And who knows, you know, maybe he had to go to the lake for the weekend. I don't really know the whole story, but she hustled and applied what we've been training for years here. So it's great. Yeah.
Shelby, I have a loan program that's guaranteed sale.
There we go.
Okay.
There you go. Figure that out. Home light. All right. Yes. Yes, Stephanie.
For Gary, Heaven this morning. So please keep her in your prayers. And if you have her number, give her a text. She wanted me to let everybody know.
Oh, shoot.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's sad. Well, we'll love on Miss K and take care of her. And all right. Well, appreciate y'all. Stay for lunch and learn. And we got ALC next week. Tim, hold on real quick. Tim, you're teaching a class on Monday. I didn't have a slide in there.
Yes, that's okay. We're in command training again. And so this week was pretty fluid, and so was Monday was come have a roadmap. And yet, if you have questions or something that you want to see in real time, bring your laptop and we'll roll through how to do it, how to access it. And if you don't know, we've been working on smart plans and how to have your contacts prepped and ready to utilize our smart plans and our auto emails so that there's some heavy lifting and some automation done on your behalf to make strategic contacts with your database.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right. Thank you guys. Question, can we have a second microphone during your class? So when people are asking questions out here, we can.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
We can try that,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, we'll try that.
absolutely.
Yeah, we have 2 microphones. We'll work with that. All right, guys, go take a break, stay for lunch and learn, and, go tell someone.
All right, Crystal.
Take care.